The Melba Story. The story of Australia's most famous woman. The true story, fully authenticated, and featuring another wonderful Australian singer, Glenda Raymond. The Melba Story. In 1895, Melba made concert appearances in many cities of the United States, including Chicago, where on a previous visit she had been attacked by a lunatic. On her second trip to this city of sensations, she went back to the Auditorium Hotel, where a suite had been named in her honor. On this occasion, however, the Melba suite was occupied by a Mrs. Stone, who refused to move out for the Australian singer. That night, Mrs. Stone had a couple of unexpected visitors.
Are you Madam Melba?
Suppose I am.
Okay, Madam, hand him over.
What?
And if you make one squawk, you get plugged. Shut the door, Joe.
Okay.
What's the meaning of this?
The jewels, lady, where are they?
What jewels?
Come on, don't stall.
Everybody knows you carry them with you wherever you go. Why, it was in the paper only yesterday. All about the famous Melba collection.
You're making a mistake. I'm not Madam Melba.
No? Well, what are you doing in the Melba suite, huh?
I've been here for some time. Madam Melba only arrived in Chicago yesterday. They put her in another suite.
Don't give us that.
What do you take us for? This is the Melba suite, isn't it? Where would Madam Melba be any place else?
That's right, Sam. You put it better than Bernard Shaw could have. So come on, lady. Quit the fooling and hand over them jewels.
I don't have any jewels.
Okay, Joe. Tie her up while we search the joint.
No, no!
Cut that out. Put a gag in first, Sam.
No!
You gotta keep it quiet. Okay, that takes care of you, Madam Melba. Now I'm gonna start looking for that bracelet that was dropped into your lap by the Tsar of Russia.
Nellie, what do you think? The Melba suite was burgled last night. Burgled? I believe a couple of men forced their way in, tied up Mrs. Stone, and spent the next hour searching for the Melba jewels.
Oh, Louis. She wasn't hurt, was she?
No, I don't think so. But after being tied up all night, she's supposed to be in a state of nervous exhaustion.
I don't wonder. I think we'd better go along and see her, Louis. I'm sorry you had such an unpleasant experience, Mrs. Stone. I do hope you're feeling better now.
I'll never be the same again. But I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
When I took that suite, I thought it was a fine thing to have people mistake me for Madam Melba. But now, well, I guess I'd just as soon be plain Mrs. Stone. As far as I'm concerned, you can have the Melba suite.
Thank you, Mrs. Stone, but I don't need it anymore. You see, I'm leaving for New York in an hour's time.
Ready, madam?
Yes, coming. What's my next item?
The bell song from Lackney.
Oh, yes. Louis, where's my little book of words?
Here, I hadn't forgotten it.
You never forget anything. I don't know how I'd ever manage without you.
You'll have to one day.
What do you mean?
Well,
All right, madam.
Coming now. I'll talk to you later, Louis. my girl. What did you mean when you said I'd have to do without you one day?
Nothing.
Are you getting tired of being my secretary? Am I working you too hard?
No, of course not. You know I love working for you, Nellie. But all this travelling...
I thought you liked travelling.
So I do. But when we get back to England this time, I'd like to stay there for good.
Oh, but that's impossible. We're going to be very busy, my dear. First of all, we're going to Paris. I have to see Worth about some new evening gowns. And then Massenet wants me to do Manon next season. And he's promised to coach me personally. Won't that be wonderful?
Yes, wonderful.
After that, we come back here to New York and... Louis, what do you think? They want me to sing Brunhilde in Siegfried. Do you think I should do it?
No, I certainly don't.
Why not?
It's too heavy for you, Nellie. You could ruin your voice completely.
All right. You'll see.
I'm afraid I won't.
What are you talking about?
I'm not coming back to America with you, Nellie.
What?
I told you. I want to stay in England.
For the rest of your life?
Possibly.
But why? Why?
Can't you think of any possible reason why a woman would want to do a thing like that?
Louis, you haven't fallen in love, have you?
Is that so awful?
Louis.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Oh, Louis.
In just a few moments, we'll return to the Melba story. The Melba Story.
Louis, do you mean that?
Yes, Nellie, I have fallen in love. Is that so awful?
Why, Louis, dear Louis, I didn't know. I'm delighted, really I am. Who is it?
You've met him. Kenyon Mason.
Oh, yes, of course. He's nice, Louis. I liked him very much. But I didn't know you'd been seeing a lot of him.
Can you imagine my working for you and seeing a lot of someone else at the same time? It's impossible, Nellie.
Yes, I suppose so. But how did you get to know each other then?
Oh, we used to write and meet very occasionally.
But often enough, it seems.
Yes, Nellie. Often enough to know what we wanted. Kenyon wants us to be married as soon as I get home.
Oh, no. I couldn't allow that.
But he needs me.
Not as much as I do.
He wouldn't agree with you about that.
I'll have a talk with him and explain the position. When he knows what a busy year I have ahead of me, I'm sure he'll understand.
I hope so. No, I don't.
Louis, you wouldn't desert me, would you?
Well,
Louis!
Not if you really want me to stay on.
But of course I want you. I must have you.
Oh, all right. But one of these days, Nellie...
One of these days, I'll give you a big surprise. But in the meantime, let's concentrate on some work. I want you to prepare a complete schedule, starting from my arrival in England and covering every day until we're ready to sail for America again. No, Louis, I can't possibly go to Monte Carlo this year. Tell them they'll just have to wait until I'm ready. Berlin? No, I couldn't think of it. Not yet. 2 weeks at the Paris Opera. I can't spare 1 day more. No, Louis, I will not sail again in the Umbria. Tell the Cunard people that I insist on a suite in the Campagna. Well, Louis, we're off to America again. Are you feeling any better about the trip?
I'm resigned to it anyway.
Resigned to it, indeed. I suppose you'd be quite happy if your beloved Kenyon was coming, too.
Well, of course.
Are you so anxious to leave me, Louis?
Nellie, let me be perfectly truthful. I've been very happy with you. I've enjoyed every moment of my life as your secretary. But I'm not a great prima donna. I'm just an ordinary woman with the usual hopes and ideas.
A home and a family?
Something like that. You see, I'm torn between two loyalties.
Yes, I know. And you've been very good to me, Louis. I'd like to show you my appreciation by giving you a very special Christmas present this year.
Oh,
what
no.
would you like?
Oh, Nellie, I don't want anything. You've already been too generous.
Well, when we reach New York, I'll give some very serious thought to the matter. And when Christmas comes, may it be one that you'll remember all your life. Louis, you're a Catholic. Settle an argument for me. Who's the Catholic Archbishop of New York?
Why, that's an easy one. I saw his photograph in the Times only this morning. He's the Reverend Michael Augustine Corrigan.
This is a very great honour you pay me, dear lady.
It's very good of your Grace to receive me, especially as I come to ask a favour.
You want me to sing with you at the Metropolitan?
If it were only possible.
You may thank the good God that it isn't.
Do you sing?
I used to warble a little in my youth, but, well, in these days I confine my vocal efforts to the singing of the Mass. And I do that poorly enough, heaven knows.
Oh, no.
But what is this favour you want to ask me?
I have a secretary, a Miss Louise Bennet, who's very loyal to me. So loyal, in fact, that she has postponed her marriage in order to remain with me.
Indeed. Is that so?
I feel that I can't accept the sacrifice any longer. So I've taken it on myself to send for her fiancé. He's now on his way to New York from England.
Without your secretary's knowledge?
Yes. I want to arrange their marriage as a Christmas present to Louis. And I've come to ask your Grace to perform the ceremony.
I see. And how do you propose to bribe me?
I thought that if I were to sing an Ave Maria in the cathedral...
My dear Madam Melba, a churchman is often a poor judge of lay matters. But after meeting you, I can easily understand why the name of Melba is so honoured and so loved. My poor services are entirely at your disposal.
For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall be two in one flesh. Therefore they are now not two, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined, let no man put asunder. Curteis Crawford Domine, dixi tuis Deus meus, in menibus tuis tempora Maria.
Nellie, I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
If you take my advice, Louis, you'll do neither. A bride should look her best on her wedding day.
Oh, what a wedding day. With a bridegroom suddenly appearing after travelling 3,000 miles and the ceremony performed in St. Patrick's Cathedral, New York, by Archbishop Corrigan himself, and Melba singing in my honour.
It's little enough return for all your kindness, Louis.
My kindness? Oh, why, you've always been wonderful to me, and now this. Oh, Nellie.
Stop that. Stop it, do you hear?
Oh, it's all right. I'm not going to cry. I have to go now anyway. Kenyon's waiting for me.
I'm going to miss you, Louis. Yes, I'm going to miss you pretty badly. But I wish you all the happiness there is.
Thank you, Nellie.
God bless you. And now, go along to your Kenyon. And I'll carry on alone.
After many years, Melba and Louis Bennet part company. Louis to settle down to married life, Melba to carry on with a career that yet had many moments of triumph in store. But for these, we must wait for the next chapter of the Melba story. The Melba Story was written by John Ormiston Reed and produced by Dorothy Crawford. The Australian Symphony Orchestra was conducted by Hector Crawford. The role of Melba was spoken by Marcia Hart and sung by the Australian coloratura soprano, Glenda Raymond.